Hi everyone, I think we're live, are we, Ben?
We are.
Okay, sorry for the short delay. So I'm here with Ben Goldsmith. My name's Andrew Chambers, and today we are talking about the reasons for getting pre-approved early for summer. So this is a webinar especially for people that are actually thinking about buying their first home or their next home over the summer period. When houses typically come on the market, people start to put their listings up, and summer days come around, and so people are out looking at more properties. And it's about planning for that. So I'll kick off, Ben. Why now? Why start thinking about this and getting pre-approved early?
Yeah, so, well, I'll start with a Merry Christmas. I know it's a little bit too early, but that's what's been happening. So as we've been submitting applications in the last couple of weeks, it sort of came to mind that actually our pre-approvals are valid through till January. So at the stage, 18th of January is pretty much a standard pre-approval, and from there we can extend it out even further. So now is actually a good time if you're thinking about kicking off the new year with a home.
And what are some of those things that change through the festive season in terms of considerations from getting approved with the bank?
So if you take in consideration that, let's just say all the banks have a look at your bank statements, pretty standard. So everybody expects that. So over Christmas time, we're going to have presents bought, we're going to have dinners out, we're going to have family time, we're going to have holidays, all these different things. So you're not actually going to portray what your standard bank statements look like. If the banks are looking at the last 3 months, do you want to have them look at the last 3 months of actual real expenses? Or when you go to apply and say January or February, for them to look over the last 3 months, including all of Christmas? It makes quite a considerable difference.
What about things like availability? Do people go on holiday over that period? Are they generally around to help in terms of advisors, banks, lawyers?
Yeah, so most of the industry, with the exception of real estate agents, they still sort of keep on going for a little bit, but most of the industry will actually close down from the day before Christmas, and actually that week leading up to Christmas is very hard to get hold of the banks as well, because that's when primarily most of the building companies and homes are settling, so everybody gets in. But most companies will close down from Christmas Day through to the second week of January. We're even looking at some of them up to the 20th of January. So that's about a good 3, almost 4 week period where no solicitors, no valuers, and valuers are really important for first home buyers because for a first home buyer with a lower deposit, you need a registered valuation. So no valuers about, solicitors will be on skeleton staff, the bank will be on skeleton staff. So they'll reduce right down as well. So they have a compulsory period of time that everybody needs to take off. So it's actually very hard to get hold of people.
So it's kind of the busiest time in terms of sales, but the hardest time in terms of getting people on the ground outside of real estate agents.
So we get to see more listings and over that summer period, because everyone wants to show their home in the best light and it looks great, and especially holiday homes and things are all coming up as well. But to actually get somebody to check the sale and purchase agreement, give you some legal advice, and for the bank to even start looking at it, the last thing they want to do is start from fresh with bank statements. They'd rather go, you're already pre-approved, all we've got to do is a quick sale and purchase agreement and check. So,
cool. What comfort does a pre-approval give us? Is it a guarantee?
Oh, guarantee is a strong word, but it's a very strong peace of mind to know exactly what amount that you can go up to, what your conditions are that you can put on that loan to put on that sale and purchase agreement for offer. So you know your price range. If you're buying an investment property, you know which rental income you need to get. You know the areas, and generally just any conditions that will be on that sale and purchase agreement, whether it needs to be a property with no maintenance and things.
And how long does it last for? If I get pre-approved today, how long have I got?
So yeah, really great question. So a standard pre-approval is normally valid for 3 months. So that's what I'm saying. So if we pre-approve you today, we're going through till about the 18th of January. Now that's a standard pre-approval with 20% deposit. there's a few differences. If you're a first home buyer and you've got less than 20% deposit, your pre-approval is generally for you to be able to purchase a particular home in mind, which we would specify the property that you're after. So it's a little bit harder if it's an existing property. So that pre-approval may only be valid for 30 days. However, if you're looking at working with a building company or buying a new build, your pre-approval can be valid for up to 12 months. But what will happen is it'll actually be approved for 3 months first for you to find the property. So it's 3 months, find the property, and then after that, once the property's found, you can have that pre-approval extended out for another 9 months. So for a total of 12 months.
What happens if I don't find a home during that period? Start again, or?
No, not quite. So if you're in the same financial position or better, all right, so a bit of jargon there, basically if you stay with the same job or same and don't take on any credit cards or personal loans, so you actually are in the same position, nothing's changed, we can request for your approval to be, pre-approval to be redone for a further 3 months. So it's just simple as an email to the bank, and we just say nothing's changed, same position, please reapprove. After that further 3 months, then we have to resubmit with new bank statements and things. But
okay.
It's considerably easier.
Yeah.
And your last application is sitting in the system, so it's just more of an update rather than starting again from scratch.
Yeah. And I know sometimes you'll get a pre-approval in place, and in the time that you're looking, something might come up or change in terms of my personal circumstances. You know, one of us might lose a job or reduce hours, and so income might change, or we might need have an emergency and need to use a bit of our deposit. What happens? How do we approach that if we've got a pre-approval? What's the best way to deal with change during that time?
So we do often see a lot of changes where actually people will look at purchasing a house, such as a new build, and they'll actually build up their deposit as they go. So they know that they had the minimum, so they make the commitment, and then they heavily focus on getting more deposit to reduce down the lending. Sometimes things do happen. Was quite a bit over COVID, and it was a stressful time for people where they would have 12-month pre-approvals, had made a commitment, and then something would happen with employment. So we just try to keep the bank up to date in all instances. A lot of it comes down to whether you're in the same financial position or better, which basically is focused around that income. So if something is happening with your job, but you've got another job and the income levels are the same, we just change the contracts out, and we just try to be as transparent as possible. So everybody wants to work together. So especially if you already made that financial commitment, which is over the next 12 months.
So if I find the property, we sign up a sales and purchase agreement. Actually, what are the key considerations just in terms of signing up a sale and purchase agreement at this time of year? Yeah,
so this time of year, the best thing you can do is take into account how long it's going to take for a bank, a solicitor, you know, for a registered valuer to actually check over that sale and purchase agreement, to view the property, and from there, all those people to work together. So I'd strongly recommend that you go in with a 10 working days finance clause. Now 10 working days over Christmas and New Year's actually really extends things quite far out. So that could even get us through to the end of January when everybody's back at work. Part of that though would be discussing with your solicitor, you know, have one, because to put in an offer you should have one in mind, so you can put that on sale and purchase agreement. And so discuss with your solicitor or go to their website to get an understanding of when they are back at work. So
yeah, that was going to be my next question is I get past that and I get to signing of, you know, we're settling the thing. Got loan docs to sign and bits and pieces with a lawyer. Yeah, lawyers might be away for the first 3 weeks of January, so need to kind of get past that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other part as well is if your pre-approval or offer is with a new bank, you'll need to get joint bank accounts done as well. Well, new bank accounts if need be.
Yep.
And that can add additional pressure with branch closures.
Yeah. Any other considerations that you might have in terms of buying at this time of year?
Yeah, I think it's a great time of year to buy. You know, obviously houses are looking their best. So do get a building report, because if people are selling at this time of year, not selling in winter, you're not going to see if there were any weather tightness issues and things like that. The places generally always look drier and better. Do go back multiple times. That's the main thing. Everybody does say that, hey, now that I've been through the place 3-4 times, I start to notice this or started to notice that. The rose tinted glasses come off. But yeah, it's a great time to be out and about and looking at new places.
And a couple of things sort of to finish up, I guess, in terms of our Q&A is, these sort of questions that I've asked Ben today are questions that advisors are really useful for, and it's one of the big pluses of going through an advisor rather than going directly to your bank. So mortgage broker or advisor, same thing. Those sorts of people, they'll know what to think about, and they're much more critical, I think, in times like this where you've got timing issues around holidays and bits and pieces. So really useful to be talking to a Tella home loan specialist in our case, if you're looking to get pre-approved for Christmas. The other sort of thing is that we are seeing a pickup in terms of market activity, and that's because there are more listings out there. So definitely a good time to be thinking about it. And we're still seeing a good amount of activity with first home buyers actually getting into property. So if you are a first home buyer and you're looking, as more and more properties come to the market, now's a good time. But there are a lot of first home properties out there that are in that range that are new as well. Expect to see more come to the market over the next few months. So
I'm hearing a lot from legal teams, the solicitors, that they're checking over a lot of draft sale and purchase agreements from real estate agents in preparation for summer to get the house out there. So expect to see a lot more on the market in the months coming.
Haven't got any questions coming through, but if you've got any questions, I'll give you a minute just to write them up. And you can always book a chat with one of our team in terms of if you want to know a little bit more about your own circumstances and how it might work in terms of you getting pre-approved yourself. You can jump onto the Tella website and you'll find a book a chat function on there to be able to book a time to have a chat with someone. Or you can just use our live chat, engage straight away without having to wait for a meeting. So there's a number of ways you can talk to us and get quick answers. Any other thoughts?
No, that's me. But just don't put any Christmas gifts on lay-bys. Please, no lay-bys, no afterpays.
Manage your spending.
Stay away from those two.
I'm not seeing any questions come through, so I think we'll wrap it up. But thanks again, everyone, for another webinar. And there'll be more of these to come. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Cheers. See you.